A much better job taking care of the basketball. Give Memphis a lot of credit for their aggressiveness, defensively jumping in passing lanes and, end of the first half cost us the game. We closed the end of the first half, turned the ball over to ended up in a 3. And obviously the 18 turnovers is, you're not going to win many basketball games turning the ball over that much.
Coach, what were the challenges with David Jones, and what's the level of concern with guards getting loose the last couple of nights?
Well, he's a great player. Creates mismatch problems because he can play so many different positions. I'm sure it was a career night for him. We've been pretty good guarding certain people. Tonight we were really poor guarding him. Again, give him a ton of credit. His efficiency was through the roof. From 3, the field, free throws across the board. I can't remember a player that scored 36 points against us.
Coach, just curious your thoughts on how the team responded after the double overtime game yesterday. Did you think fatigue played a factor down the stretch, and what did you think about their ability to kind of chip away at the end?
I would say, Curtis, that if it was both teams played last night and it's 42-42 in the second half, we gave up 5 points off technicals. That cost, 5 points. It's a 5-point game. And we gave that up on technicals. And like I said, that was a disastrous end of the first half. And so you take the technicals in the end of the first half, and I think that's the ball game.
And then how important is it to turn the page here on a short turnaround? I know it's a third place game and there's disappointment in the loss, but you get to play a team like North Carolina, a potential, NCAA tournament matchup again.
And we got a lot of stuff we got to get better at, a lot. So.
Coach, first time that Arkansas and Memphis have played in almost 21 years. Does this sort of, there's been some clamoring, at least on the Memphis side, for renewing this rivalry. Does this sort of environment, this night, this competitiveness
that's a tournament.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone was at the Villanova UNC game. That was incredible. Environment here has been incredible for all the games. I thought last night's game was a great atmosphere that we played in.
Do you see this?
I don't do the schedule.
Okay.
Coach, were there any commonalities or trends that you saw with the 18 turnovers tonight? Anything just stand out above?
I think Memphis is really aggressive defensively. They gamble, they jump in passing lanes, they switch, and I thought they did a great job, and we didn't handle it. And so you have to give credit to their defense. Their defense was much better than our defense, and their offense was much better than our offense. And yet we're looking at a 5-point game. As I've mentioned, 5 technicals.
Devo,
you guys good with me? Yeah.
Was the foul trouble late? Is that kind of, somebody asked this, but just kind of a product of your team withering away energy wise after, double overtime last night and after, 15, 20 minutes of game time passing?
Yeah. I don't think that the way that the schedule has laid out for us, just call it luck. We were the last ones into Nassau because of a 5-hour delay. We had the last practice time on day 1 that we all practiced here, which would have been Tuesday. We had the last practice time the day of the game, which we couldn't even use because it was too close in our eyes too. And then we had the shortest turnaround coming off a double overtime game. So to say that you would have a double overtime game and play at 7:30, our game, we didn't even get back to our hotel or into our rooms until about 12:45, and we played at 5. So I think it would naturally, I'm sure it affected my wife, who was a spectator here, but there's no excuses when you come to this type of tournament. You roll with what the schedule says. So there's no excuses. Memphis beat us. So I want to be perfectly clear. All the credit to Memphis. They outplayed us. They beat us. He turned the basketball over. Having said that, I think if fatigue was a major issue, we would have seen a little bit different score in the second half. And I think if there was 5 more minutes in the game, our team would have continued to play and compete. So I didn't think that that was a real issue. I thought the technicals hurt us bad, and again, end of the first half. And I mean, nobody could guard a player on the other team. Nobody. I mean, he did whatever he wanted, which is what great players do. Doesn't matter what defensive scheme, you go out and you have a hell of a game, and that's what he did. I don't expect anybody to have 36 against us. We usually do a really good job on primary guys that we focus on. Obviously, the way that Jones has played all year, he's a much improved 3-point shooter. Credit to Penny, credit to their coaching staff, because he has improved in that area. Credit to the young man too. I'm sure he's worked tremendous amount of time. And he's a tough kid. I mean, he's a great offensive rebounder. He's a great defender. He made a name for himself tonight, quite frankly. I mean, he really did. I mean, there's a lot of scouts here and stuff. They're going to remember that performance because he played that good and he was that dominant on unbelievable efficiency. I didn't think he took one bad shot and he scored 35 points, 36. That's hard to do, score 36 and have unbelievable, impeccable shot selection. He had better shot selection than almost every guy on my team. Some guys that, I mean, he did. He kicked our butt.
Diva, what were the challenges? I know Coach just spoke at length about the challenges with David Jones, but what was your kind of opinion on what made him a tough cover tonight?
Found he got to his spots and he was just making his shots. So we was trying different coverages, not for just him, but for other guys because we was switching different matchups and so he just had a good game.
Is there any concern with you that guards the last couple of nights have gotten loose on you guys? With like big score nights?
Not really. I mean, we feel that we pretty good at defense. I mean, we work on it all the time during practice. Different schemes, different coverages, and we for sure scout our teams that we play against pretty well. So there's no excuse. He just had a good game tonight.
Devo, you guys were in a similar position this time last year when you were in Maui. You lost the second game to Creighton and you bounced back and beat San Diego State in overtime. I guess what is it going to take for you guys to kind of relive that experience and have a similar showing this time?
Just focus on North Carolina. We know who we play now, and start scouting them tonight. We got a fast turnaround tomorrow. So scout them and we're gonna try to do as best as we can to contain what they have on their end. And we're gonna come tomorrow, try to play and win.
Devo, I think you needed 14 points to get to 1,000 for your career. Got to 15. Just thoughts on that, kind of what it means to you.
Feels good, but I mean, we lost. So next game for me. But thanks to God, he was able for me to be able to accomplish that. But got to win games. So
last thing I've got, 18 turnovers led to 27 points for Memphis. Anything you can put your finger on with the miscues there and it led to their runouts?
Yeah, few of them. We just got to be a little bit more tougher. Guys slapping and reaching on the opposite team, and if we're not getting calls, then like I said, we got to be tougher. And some of the calls wasn't going our way, and so therefore we got to look at it at that and say we just got to be tougher on our end. Thanks, Devo.